morning. It is February 8th, 2014. First quarter of what I believe to be a deceptive moon, Sametsikitsum. And I am out for a little ruck hike to follow up on a suspicion of mine. It's been cold all week, and by cold I mean at least minus 20 and dipping down to minus 30 Celsius. And so when I've been feeding the magpies in the morning, I've been bringing them a little bit of extra kibble because I know that they need a little bit of extra energy. Now there's one magpie who I have known from the time she was just a very young fledgling, and who is really very close to my family. She comes in our home when I open the doors for her. She'll land on me, take food from my hand. She's very close to us. And the first couple of days of the cold, of course, waking up after a night of staying just barely alive by shivering, she needs lots of energy. So she came to the house first couple of mornings and picked up some beetle grubs from me for just some extra energy. But then after that first couple mornings, she wasn't coming, and I noticed what she was doing was after the feed-in session in the park, which she did attend, then she would fly in a northeasterly direction toward the coulees and rivers, and I actually saw not just her but a few of the magpies heading in this direction. And so I suspect what happened was that there is a good food source down here at the moment. Maybe the coyotes took down a deer, something to that effect, where they are busy cleaning it up. So first noticed this 2 days ago, and this is the third morning that I've seen the birds fly in this direction after our session. So I'm headed out to see if I can find where they are and what it is that they are eating, whether my suspicions are correct. So I don't really know where to start because this is a huge territory. They could even be across the river in some other coulee area. And so there's a good chance, I think actually, that I won't find where they are and what they're doing, but it's worth a look anyway, and it's a good opportunity just to get outside and get some ruck time in. Really advocating now, and I'm finding it very enjoyable. Just the simple but effective exercise of ruck hiking with weighted pack in the winter. So I'm going to be keeping my eye out and ears out for magpie activity. But where I thought I might start is at the coyote den and see if I can trail the coyotes to any location. It's been snowing lightly all morning, and we've had kind of off and on light, very, very tiny fragmented crystal type of snow all week. So there should be some coyote trails leading to the food source if in fact this pack was the one that took something down. So we'll see. Right now I'm on a trail because it's so powdery. I'm actually not sure whether or not this is a coyote trail, which I think it is, or whether it is the trail of a black-tailed jackrabbit. But the coyote den is right over this way, so I'll see when I get to it. Given the way that whoever is moving through here, I think it's probably a coyote, but we'll see. Alright, so we are coming up to the coyote den, and I'm now definitely on the trail of a coyote. Yeah, here's the den site right here. Interesting though, these tracks here that appear to be leading at least directly past the den are definitely black-tailed jackrabbit. It's a dangerous place for a jackrabbit to be running. There's trails coming from several different sites, and I'm looking in here and I'm seeing what look to be some feces. See if I can focus in on that. Yeah, you see that? That is definitely not coyote sign. That is more like porcupine. So that's pretty curious. So really at this point, I'm a little bit confused as to who is using this. Although I do see down here a matting of some deer hair. So whoever came in here was pulling, or that could very well be also coyote, or could it very well also be porcupine. Yeah, in fact I see quills down here. I do see quills. I'm a little reluctant to reach in there, but I will anyway, just to show. Here we go. That is, where is it here on the viewfinder? There we go. This is absolutely a porcupine quill. And so I was correct, these porcupine poops. So I am changing my position on the resident of this burrow altogether. This is a porcupine burrow. Now, at least, of course, it was not dug by the porcupines, it's dug by the coyote. Absolutely. And there were coyotes living here at the beginning of winter, but it appears they are living here no longer. Huh. So that is an interesting new development here at the den site. So this is absolutely no longer a coyote den. This is being used by a porcupine. So this begs the question, where have the coyotes moved to? I always find it so difficult to locate the coyote dens. Mainly I think just because I don't put in the real effort to do so. I come out and I'll track them for a bit and hope to come across their den, and that's how I did find that den. However, now look, here's another. I just come across a second den site. This one I don't think I've ever seen before. So this could be where the coyotes are living now. Let's see if we can see anything in there. There are tracks leading out and around this den site, and these tracks do look to me more like black-tailed jackrabbit than anything else. Looking down in here, I again see a porcupine sign. I see quills, and I see porcupine droppings. It's so far down there in dark that you probably cannot see it in the camera here. See if I can go down. There we go, porcupine droppings, and see if I can pick up that quill. Right there is a quill. So this is also being used by a porcupine. And let's see if we have any other entrances here. This is interesting. This may be a network, or it may be separate den holes, because I found here's another one. Now these are definitely all made by coyotes and or badgers. Coyote holes tend to be more round, badger holes more long. It doesn't look like anybody has been in and out of this hole here for a while, so I don't know that anybody's living there. At least there's no snow disturbance, and I didn't see any real sign of anybody peeking in there. Let's see there's another hole here where there has been movement in and out recently. Don't think coyote though, I think it's rabbit. And this looks more like a badger hole to me anyway. So, pretty interesting. See if I come across any more here immediately. Doesn't look like it though. Yeah, I'm not seeing any more holes immediately, so I'll flip the camera back on if I come to something interesting. But it looks like most of these old burrows on this side, if not all of them, are occupied by black-tailed jackrabbits and porcupines. So that's a new find. That's new information for me. I'm up at a really nice viewpoint, watching and listening for magpie or coyote activity that might lead me to whatever's of interest out here. But also this is a really nice place to just get a perspective on the city of Lethbridge and the Old Man River coulee that runs through it. For those that watch my videos, probably recognize this very famous high-level railroad bridge for the CPR, Canadian Pacific Rail. And my usual outdoor study site is just beyond this bridge. On the other side there's a wetlands area, an old oxbow. Down here we have what's called Whoop Up Drive, and on the other side of the river, over here on the opposite of Whoop Up Drive, there is a recreation of the old whiskey fort Whoop Up, but this is not the actual site where the old fort used to occur. That's in the place that in my videos I go that I call Bitsiksinakawachko. Here you got a nice open river crag, and you can see there's some waterfowl hanging around that crag, which is typical and expected. Up on this side, nestled into the coulee, is the University of Lethbridge, which is my alma mater for my master's degree, at least. Pretty much a vast kind of wilderness area of coulee, where no development can really take place. Down on the bottom here, though, we have Lethbridge Country Club golf course, where the trees are sporadic down here. This is all golf course, and this is their clubhouse over here. I despise the golfers. I would much rather have this be totally nature area. There is, however, a trail. You can see it, part of it here. This trail extends all the way along the river, all the way back to the high level bridge and beyond, and then this way, and you have to cross this little oxbow here. Used to be a good beaver dam there to cross on, and then go along the island, and then you can cross over here, and you can see there's the path again. It can take you all the way to Lethbridge College, which is not really well visible, but it's up on the coulee rim on this other side. So you got islands in the river, and down this way you got this other river flat that is Paradise Canyon, which is just a rich neighborhood on the floodplain for silly people that want to buy houses where it's going to eventually flood and erode and that kind of thing. My neighborhood, where I live, Riverstone, is back this way on the coulee rim. And so yeah, that's just a little bit of perspective. Somebody is kind enough to build a bench out here on this point. Such a nice overlook point. You can really see for quite a distance around. So I'm still not hearing or encountering magpies or coyotes. So I'm going to dip down, hike down into this coulee, down to the river, and then follow the river upstream and see if I come into anything. Almost to the river now, and I am hearing some magpie chatter across the river in the area of the country club, which is directly across from me now. Again, here is their clubhouse, and over here are their maintenance sheds. It's a lone goose flying upriver. Yeah, there's definitely a magpie on the country club side, but if I'm not mistaken, I'm also hearing some on my side of the river, at least one voice. Like I said at the beginning of the hike, the likelihood of me actually coming across whatever resource they've been relying on down here in such a vast area is pretty slim. But it's always a possibility. If it's on the other side of the river, though, I'm not really interested in trying to cross the ice, even though it's been cold the last little bit, and it should be perfectly safe. You know, just in this kind of cold weather, if you don't have to do something risky, then why do it? I just frightened 4 pheasants out of the brush here. They just flew a little bit downstream, so I'm headed in that direction anyway, because that's the easiest route for me to get down onto the river proper. See if they flush back up. Yeah, I missed it. The pheasants flew further downstream again. I was hoping to catch their departure on video, but they shot out well before I was arrived at their landing spot. So in any case, right down here is the little area where I can get myself down onto the river ice. Don't come down to this area very much, and I really should start to incorporate it into my regular surveys, just so that I come to know that the whole of my backyard, and this here is a beaver chute, a place where the beaver go down. And I gotta find myself a little place to go down. Just making note of this cut bank here, and the evidence of it being used for a bank swallow colony. So that might be a cool group of birds to come check out in the summer. Come down this way in the summer. Yeah, nice colony, looks like. Just hiking right on the river itself. Actually, I think that this is probably plenty strong enough to afford me crossing the river if I wanted to. This is a really good cut bank. Yeah, this is a little bit further downriver than I would normally hike from my house. Usually if I come down this way, I've come from that other side of the river down there. You can drive down by the whoop up and then come hiking in this way. Rucking along. So I've just come across pretty much the first sign of coyote on the river that I've run into so far on my walk. It's odd actually that there hasn't been more coyote tracks on the river. I mean, there are some evidence of some, but they're quite old. Even these tracks are not fresh. They might have been made maybe yesterday, maybe even older than that. But I'm gonna kind of follow them and see what they might lead me into. If anything, looks like they're kind of even petering out here a little bit. But I can see up ahead that they pick up again, or at least that there's some more distinct tracks. So I'm going to try to find something from the coyotes and follow it along, if not to locate the food source, then perhaps the den. We'll see. Here's how our storm drain is looking. The waterfall is absolutely frozen, although you can still hear there's a trickle going on underneath. Still moving along with the coyote tracks. I can see that there's one set that goes up this way and heads up this coulee. Now that coulee is the one where we started off. That is the one where the old coyote den was. But another track, or perhaps the same dog, goes off in this direction. And from the looks of it, actually was walking in this direction rather than coming from it. So I'm going to follow these and see where these ones lead to. Because I've already seen up in that coulee, at least for part of it, that it didn't have what I was looking for. Still not a lot of noise from magpies. So I'm losing confidence really that, that I'm going to come across any carcass. Because this is the direction where I had expected to find it. I'm not finding it. If there's anything, it's somewhere across the river. And I don't feel like going there. So I'm going to head this way and at least kind of check out where the coyote tracks lead. Okay, well, it looks like this is where I'm going to part ways with the coyote, because it heads off across the river, and there's no real purpose in me following it over there, because it's not, wherever it's going to lead to, it's not going to be something that, if there's a den or what have you, that I can go check on with any frequency. Most of the time the river is not iced over strong enough to cross, and in the summer, of course, you have a significant water obstacle. Not that I can't swim across the river, I do, but when you're carrying equipment and stuff, especially like phones and cameras and these kind of things, then you know, you don't want to cross the river. So I don't know, there may not be any coyote dens on my side of the river anymore. It's very possible. At least not in my general locale. So I'm just gonna have to be keeping my eyes open. And it wouldn't surprise me though, we've had a lot of new development up by my neighborhood as they expand. I just see the coyotes, two of them. Bend down and hope that they don't see me. One is crossing the river. The other is a little bit more cautious of me. I've gone down to the ground in hopes that I'll be less intimidating. There's actually 3 coyotes now. Very far away now. I don't even know if I have any of them in the viewfinder. There's one still right out in the middle of the river ice. 2 have crossed back to the opposite side of the river. Here comes another one right there. He's running out on the ice. I don't know if you see that. Right there. This one may have just noticed me or something to that effect. There's a raven that started calling nearby. It may very well be calling to the coyote family. The one that just ran, I wonder what his story is, why he ran. So they are running. He ran to my side of the river. And the other one that was out in the middle of the ice seems to kind of be following in that direction. If so, if they go up that coulee, I'll be able to follow them up that coulee, follow their new tracks, and perhaps even find out where they go. I don't know whether they are alert to my presence. I'm trying to find a good place to get up off of the ice so that they don't see me. This area here is not really ideal. Alright, I've gotten myself up off of the ice and moved closer, though I am still quite a ways away. The coyotes are over this area somewhere. I think I can see them, but I'm not sure. What they're after, I think, is there's some geese out here at this open water crag. So they're trying to get to these geese, though it sure is going to be difficult for them because the geese have positioned themselves so that they can obviously see the coyotes coming and can easily take wing when and if the coyotes charge. So I'm going to continue to walk up toward the scene and perhaps get an opportunity to witness something. More likely, of course, I'll scare the coyotes and I won't get to see anything, but I'm trying to keep from doing that. Thought I would just note this. This is where I normally come down if I'm just making a quick run down to the river and back. And it looks like the coyote family has been using this, coming down and crossing the river here. So it could be that they live actually now in this coulee or one of the adjacent coulees. Or it could just as easily be that they live across the river. It's very hard to tell. I'm still pretty far away from the scene with the open river crag. I no longer see any of the coyotes on the bank, so I'm not quite sure what happened to them. But I did see where the one who ran across went up. I think he went into the next coulee over here. I'm not sure what would be the better approach to follow him because this is fresh tracks. It probably would be best, although I know that coulee can be very tough to climb from the bottom. So I'm kind of stuck a little bit, not sure what I want to do, whether I want to go over that way, risk throwing the whole scene off by exposing my presence to the geese and the coyotes, who may already know I'm here, but will certainly be upset if I'm over in that direction. Or should I follow the tracks up the coulee here toward in my normal area, maybe carry a rock up to leave at the cairn. I think, for me, I think that might be the best choice. And it would certainly be the most disruptive for them. I don't know. So I'm gonna think about it. Okay. What I've decided is that it's probably not going to be productive for me to go trail the one coyote that I saw. The chances are he would find out that I'm on his trail, and in that case he will not lead me to the den. If I go over that way as well, I know I'm just going to be disturbing things, and so I think the better plan for me is to follow these tracks here that go up my regular coulee and just see what they're about. I've grabbed a rock, a big heavy rock, toss it in my ruck, and add that to my weight for the climb. Put it up on my pile of rocks that I'm making. Maybe I'll come across the coyote den up this way, maybe I won't. It was at least nice to see that little family of coyotes moving around down here. I suspect though that they live on the other side of the river, but because I haven't been hearing a lot of coyotes at night at my house. But then I never know. Anyhow, I'm gonna start the climb, start the ascent. Yeah, so the tracks have led me up the draw and to a point down here where one set of tracks continue along the bottom and another set of tracks, and I can probably show them to you even. Maybe you can see them there. Another set of tracks came up this hill at a really steep incline. I followed it because I wanted to get up the hill, and has led me to this old den site, which I did know about before, but this is not being used, obviously. Cobwebs and a lot of snow, but it looks like he just came by to check, sniff it out, see if anybody's here, and then he continues on. So I'm going to continue on and see what else he checks out. Alright, there's a lot of tracks that coalesce here at this den site, and in fact as I came up on here I just saw Mr. Porcupine scoot on in there. I don't know if you're not going to be able to see him, but he's in there. I just seen him. I think he just did these poops too, because it smells like porcupine musk. Big time. But yeah. So yeah, another porcupine den rather than a but this was definitely a coyote den when you look at the shape of it and how it's dug out and all that. Again, the porcupines do not dig their own dens. Coyote dens tend to have rounder openings, larger openings like this than the badger dens, which are more kind of oblong. But it's cool to be finding all these different coyote dens. You'll notice, looking on the side of the coulee that I'm on, I am on the south-facing coulee slope, and that's where the dens are dug, in the south wall, because obviously, because of what we have up here, which is the sun. That's important to have as much sunlight as you can on the den site so things stay as warm as possible. So over on that side of the coulee, you'll see a lot of the area is in shadow during the day. That's no good. So if there are coyote dens in this coulee, they will be somewhere along on this slope. So I'm going to go up on top here and drop my rock at my spot and then descend again, find another set of coyote tracks, and or descend at least part way, hike along and see if I can come across any other den sites. But yeah, there's porcupine here, pretty big one it looked to be, and it doesn't surprise me. All the trails, I kind of started having a suspicion that I was on a porcupine trail because the tracks look like this, and this is just simply too close together to be coyote. So I'm not surprised at all. There's a magpie flying down there. I don't know if you can see him or not. Two of them actually. See where they go. They might be going all the way up. Yeah, it appears to be there. They're going all the way up the coulee. Anywho, head up to the cairn. Right, up here at the top, you can see my little pile of rocks growing there. And from here, you can also really get a bird's eye view of the open water scene. And the geese down there. Now the big question is are there any dens along the edge of this slope here? I kind of doubt it, but yeah, they're living somewhere. But you know, we got this vast area that they couldn't have it. And given all the development that's recently occurred, like right here, whether the coyotes are still living in this particular draw, you know, I have to really question that. I suspect they were just hunted up here recently. But still, I'm gonna go check it out. I can see a set of tracks over on the slope. Where is it? Right in here. And that'll give me something to go look at. Where is it? Oh, right in here. I don't know if that's showing up. Hard to see on this viewfinder what the heck's going on, but anyway, there is a set of obvious tracks. They could be porcupine. I'm gonna go check it out. Alright, I can tell already from even this far away that these tracks here are white-tailed jackrabbit. Those are the ones I was going to look for. And there's a lot of white-tailed jackrabbit activity right up on top of the slope here. There's definitely been one running around up here. Now, I haven't seen any definite sign of coyotes up here, just these rabbits. So, I don't know. But the coyotes. I think maybe for today, because at this point I'm fairly worn out, that I'm gonna head her in, get something to eat, and maybe take another hike out tomorrow, the next day. Check out some more of this coulee draw and the adjacent one, the one where the it looked like the one dog ran up there earlier this morning. If I start from the top, then it's not so difficult to get down in there and have a look around. Just from the bottom, trying to track that coyote that I saw run across the river, I know that climbing up from the bottom there is very difficult, because basically you start with a cliff, and the cliffs are hard enough here with the kind of soil composition and stuff that we've got. Difficult enough to climb. Add the snow to it and ice underneath the snow, and it's just retarded to even try going up the cliffs, especially with the ankle weights and backpack, weighted pack and all that stuff. But coming from above, might be able to do something. So that'll be the plan for next time. And right now I'm gonna head her back and refuel.